Hi there, this is Art and Such, and this is the tutorial to show you 3 different ways in which you can finish off a macrame bracelet. So this one that I have here, I've just completed. It has 12 strands, and one thing that you can do is divide your threads into 3 groups and braid it. So I'll show you that quickly. I'm going to have 4 threads in each set, as there are 12 altogether. Hold one group in the left hand between your first and second fingers. Grab the other 2 with your finger and your thumb, and take the ones on the right with your right hand, and we're going to switch. So now we're going to grab the center between 2 fingers and pull the right ones to the middle. And we're going to move our fingers over on the left hand so that we can grab the middle one from underneath and then transfer the left ones to the middle. And then you can continue to braid. So you're going to bring over the threads on the left and then bring over the threads on the right. Bring over the threads on the left, bring over the threads on the right. And you can continue this way for to whatever length you desire. When you're happy with the length, we're going to take a single strand out of the side. I'll grab a green one here, it should be a little easier to see. And we're going to do a kind of an upside down macrame knot. So pull the tail end up and over. You have a little hole here. You're going to reach underneath through the hole. Pull that thread down into the side. Now if you make your next knot underneath, what's going to happen is this is going to slide back and forth. So what I like to do is for the second knot, come on top again. Bring the tail up and over, pull it through to the side and down, and then after this you can continue beneath. So that's one method of finishing. I'm going to undo this part and I'll show you the second way. And the second way is very similar, but it leaves out the braid. Alright, there's one. I'm just getting my fingernails in between, tugging at it gently until it comes loose. If you ever decide to go back on a knot, you've made a mistake, you want to do it differently. I'm just very gently tugging and watching where the thread is going in. Okay, let's undo that braid and I'll show you method 2 here. Oh, I think we had one more there. There we go. Okay, if you don't want a braid of any length, then what you can do is leave the threads where they are. And again, just grab a single thread from the side and repeat. So this time we can come from underneath because we don't have loose threads for it to slip. We have a solid pattern here. You can even take more than one thread if you want. I'm just going to do one, bring it across, tail pointed over, come through the hole to the side and up. And repeat and keep this as even as you can. And then you can even go into just a very basic pattern and continue going down with a single thread or with multiple threads and make a little finishing. I'll go a little further so you can see. So I'm going to do a third one and a fourth one, doing these all in the same direction, and then let's take another thread and that way we can switch colors. I'm trying to do this a little loosely because then I'll undo it and show you again. So this is option 2. Option 3, maybe we'll show you one more knot before we go on. This next one is a little tricky. It's a little more advanced and it doesn't come into play as much in traditional friendship bracelets, but you will see it more in macrame when you're looking at at hangings or planters, belts. I might use this in another video, this knot to show you too, but as I said, it doesn't come up a lot. But I will give it to you here as another option for finishing because it looks really cool. So this is our next way. We're going to take one strand from either side and just pull it over. And ideally you want different colors for the two, like colors with good contrast. We're going to take the first one and we're going to come underneath and we're going to go over the thread that's on the far side. So this one comes under and over, and this one will now go over and through this hole. So it goes over this piece and under the opposite side. And then we're going to grab either end and we're going to pull them tightly to the sides, like so. And then we're going to carefully, slowly pull it up to the top. And you always want to do this knot a minimum of 2 times, just like with our other knot. So now we're going to come from the left, we're going to go under the threads we're knotting on, and over the right-handed thread. And then we're going to bring this up and through the hole that we've created on the left side. I'm not sure what this knot is actually called, but I like to think of it as a kind of a pretzel knot because we have an over-under and an under-over. And this is what you get. I'll do 2 more to show you the effect that you get, although you really need multiple to see. This time I'm just going to hold on to the threads I'm knotting over with my fingers. I'm taking my first 2 fingers to keep this hole here. I'm going to pull this up and over and grab the grain back through. This really is kind of a hard one to get, so I'm trying to get you as good a look as I can. We pull them to the side and knot them up. And one more time, coming from the left, go under the threads you're knotting over, go over the thread on your far side, and bring that thread back over and through the hole. So there's a little bit of an idea of what it looks like, and it will continue with those vertical pale green or pale colored little lines down the side, and the middle just shows up as horizontal bands. Let's do that 2 more times and then we'll undo, and I'll show you the last and really the easiest way to finish off, which is, and it's the method I use most of the time. Okay. There you go. And of course you can switch up your colors, so you don't have to use green, you don't have to use the same ones each time. You can always pull out something else as long as you have a minimum of 2 knots per color. Let me take us back a step here. I'm going to remove this and then I'll show you the last main easy beginner's whatever way to finish off a macrame bracelet. That's actually close enough, because what I'm going to do is something similar to what I did on starting the bracelet. I'm going to pinch the the threads, wrap them around my finger, and let's just get the angle here. Okay, wrap it over like so. So these threads have come under, around, and on top. And I'm going to push them under and up through this hole. But we're going to keep it as close as we can to the bottom of the bracelet, to where the bracelet ends. And we want to make sure that we get all of our threads so nothing's sticking out. And just as we're tightening the knot, we're going to be very careful that we're pushing it up as we go so it stays in the right place. Now if you see, as here, that you have one strand that's loose, what you can do is try and find that color and give it a little tug down. If you have multiple loose bands, you can give each thread a tug, and that will make it nice and secure. And this is also something you sometimes want to do when you're starting a bracelet if your knot is kind of loose at the top. So the last step, regardless of the kind of finishing you've done, will be to pick a spot where you want your bracelet to end and trim it down. And that is how you can finish a bracelet. Thanks for watching.